Hey good people, and welcome back to the channel. I am Wes, your creative culinary connoisseur, and today I'll be showing you one of the many ways that I make a delicious batch of Rotel dip. Now I know that Rotel dip has been around for ages, and there are a ton of videos on YouTube that show you how to make it. So the goal for this video is for me to not only show you a slightly different way to make it, but I would also like to educate you on what you might have to spend on ingredients if you wish to recreate this dish. So without any further delay, let's jump right into it. So for this batch of Rotel dip, I'll be using 1 pound of ground beef, which costs $4.58 at Walmart, 1 9-ounce casing of chorizo, which costs $1.42 at Walmart, 3 cans of Rotel, which costs $1.24 each from Walmart, and if you notice, I'm using the original hot and mild flavors because in my opinion, they pair well together. I'll be using 1 packet of cream cheese, which costs $2.98 at Walmart, and I'll be using a 32-ounce block of cheesy melt from Food Lion, which cost a little under $6 when I initially recorded the video, but the current price point is at $7.31. Now most Rotel dip videos that I've seen use Velveeta block cheese in their recipe, and at Walmart, you can get it for $7.98. So to recreate this exact recipe, it's going to run you about $20, which is not including the cost of the tortilla chips. But this dip should be enough to feed a minimum of 15 hungry souls. Speaking of tortilla chips, if you're looking for the best deal or best bang for your buck, then I would recommend Kroger's family-sized tortilla chips, which run $2.98 per 18-ounce bag, and they also taste pretty good, versus Tostitos 14.5 ounce bag, which costs $4.98. Now let's move on to the recipe. Now while my pan is heating up on the stove, I use my free time to cube up the block cheese and cream cheese. And as many of you already know, this step is necessary because when all the ingredients go into the crock pot, it'll be a lot easier for the cheese to melt when it's cubed and spread out versus if you just dump the cheese in the crock pot as it is. Yeah, the cheese will eventually melt that way, but it will take a lot longer for you to do that, and if the cheese is at the bottom of the crock pot, it may cause some parts of the cheese to burn. But after the cheese has been cubed, it's time to cook the chorizo, and I cook the chorizo on medium-high heat for about 5 minutes or until the mixture starts to resemble cooked ground sausage. And once that's finished cooking, I transfer the chorizo to a container for draining. And draining is very important, because if you forget to drain your chorizo, your ground beef, your regular sausage, or whatever you cook for the Rotel dip, and then you add it to the crock pot with the ingredients, then the excess grease will float to the top and it'll alter the taste for the dip. But I follow the exact same steps for heating the ground beef, and once I'm finished, I also transfer that to the container for draining. And for good measure, I took a paper towel and pressed it on the top of the cooked meat just to soak up any excess grease. Now all that's left is to combine the ingredients in the crock pot. And as you can see, I'm a huge fan of crock pot liners because they save me time from having to clean up the crock pot, and if I have any leftovers, I can simply tie up the bag and toss it in the fridge. But I start loading the crock pot by dumping my Rotel cans at the bottom. I then add my cubed cream cheese and block cheese. And then I add my cooked protein at the very top. Once the lid is on the crock pot, I set it on low. And a dip like this should be ready within 2 hours. And once it's ready, I remove the lid from the crock pot and I give the dip a nice stir before reducing the crock pot temperature to warm, which will prevent the cheese from burning as much as possible. But this is my video for Rotel dip, and I hope you all enjoyed. If you have any comments about my video or Rotel dip in general, feel free to leave them below in the comment section, and I'll be sure to respond to everybody. Until next time, stay tuned and stay safe. Peace.